Get a picture of my face looking up. All right? Come out. Yeah, we're at Emery, and we have a merch table out there. If you saw it, we live in a trailer that we pull behind my car. It's in the back. Come hang out.
I remember that morning. So we got to Matt's house that morning about 6 a.m. And man, we were excited.
It's harder than you think to describe the one day that changed your entire life.
We had it planned. It was a day full of hope and optimism. But we were nervous and we were scared and we were anxious because we had planned that day and that specific morning as the day that we were going to change everything in our lives. I mean,
like, it was the first like real adventure that we had ever had.
Up until that point, we had not traveled anywhere. The farthest I'd ever been is to Florida.
My dad gave us a 24-foot racing trailer that we were able to live in.
And now here I was getting in like a caravan of cars, vehicles, and a big old trailer. And we were going to travel like 3,000 miles to a place we'd never been before and just try to live there and make a band work.
When we had the idea to move away from everything we knew and move to Seattle, it seemed like that was a no-brainer. It was an opportunity I had to take. And
we basically got there. We were saying our goodbyes to our parents and family, and it was hard. I mean, it was sad because I'd grown up there my whole life.
Heading out that day, I can remember saying goodbye, and we hopped in the car, and I just really was thinking, this is the time that will change my life forever. No matter what, the story of my life is changed as soon as we drive out of this driveway.
It was already the most emotional day possible. It's like you hug your dad, you hug your mom. It felt like I thanked my parents for raising me in a final single moment, and then turned my back and headed west. I mean,
I'm trying to console my mom who's crying, you know, losing her little boy, so she thinks, and you know, trying to hold back tears myself, but also in the middle of it all is like just this burst. You just want to like explode with excitement because you're about to do it.
I had real belief. I thought, man, this band is gonna make it. It's worth it, what we're doing. Toby, I was telling myself, I can remember going, if you don't pursue this dream and if you don't really try, then I think you're always gonna look back on it and go, what if? I think I could be sitting here today going, man, our band, remember that time that we started that band? What was it called? Emery? That probably could have done pretty good. And all of that ended up coming to a halting stop about an hour after we left because 9/11 happened.
This just in, you are looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
I have no idea right now.
Oh, there's another one. Another plane just hit. Right. Oh my gosh! Another plane has just hit. It hit another building. Flew right into the middle of it. Explosion.
I remember thinking all summer that September 11th is going to be the day where everything changes for me. I didn't understand or know that it would be the day where things changed for everybody.
And all of a sudden, our dream, the day that we thought our lives would change, changed in an hour before we even got out of the Carolinas.
We didn't get too far. We were a couple hours or so down the road, and we stopped off at a Cracker Barrel.
We found out about the terrorist attack, you know, just about an hour and a half into our trip.
Our waitress comes up, and she's pretty backwoods, I'll have to say. So when she heard the news, she comes out to our table, and she's like, "You guys, New York has been attacked by tourists," and we're just like, "Tourists?" And so we're trying to translate there, and so we're like, "Oh, terrorists." So
it wasn't something that we understood at first. I think we really missed out on the experience that almost every other person had. That was this really scary, negative experience.
We stopped at a payphone, and all of our family said, "Please come back. We don't know what's happening. There could be more attacks. We don't know." Nobody knew much of anything. Similar to the times that we have right now.
we had no idea what was going on. We tried to listen to the radio to hear what was happening. You couldn't, at the time, there's no cell phones. You can't see footage. And so we eventually make it to like a Walmart or a Target, and we see like the planes hitting the towers.
We would go to a Myers in Indianapolis and go to where all the TVs and DVD players and probably still VHS players back then. And we'd watch what was happening because all the TVs would have the news on. And so I'd just be standing at the back of the store we would all just be standing in a row, just watching all the TVs and seeing what was happening to America.
We were full of emotions. We didn't know if we should go back, if we should go forward, if we should stay still. I mean, it was like there is no correct answer in that moment.
And you knew it was this really, really tragic thing, and it was really hard for us to balance. Are we supposed to be excited today? Are we supposed to be sad today? There was a big sense of fear. We thought, should we turn around and go home? Are we even safe?
We knew that if we had stopped or gone back, things would have been different. Like, we might never have left.
And we just all talked and said, if we turn around, we won't ever come back. We'll stay at home. This will be too much to overcome.
It was tough, but we just decided, you know what, we got to go. We just got to keep going. And we did. And that's a strange day, even now, thinking about it, because one of the most exciting days of my life and our band's life is one of the darkest days in U.S. history.
Like the lyrics in the song say, a triumph and a tragedy. That complex mixture of emotions put together in one song, that's the kind of thing that I think that Emery's built for. And that's kind of a foundational thing for us, is to mix complicated emotions together and see if we can pull it off.
And if it wasn't for that decision at a Cracker Barrel, I think in North Carolina, we wouldn't be here today.
Maybe there's some bond that was formed out of that for us, where we just had this shared experience of real intensity that's just foundational for our band. That's just kind of always been a theme of Emery, and it's built right into our DNA from our first real day as a band is September 11th, 2001.